Hi, I'm Liz Rizzo, and I'm going to talk about the events of September 17th, 2010. I was living at my friend Fran Epstein's home at 10802 Boulder Hill Drive, Grass Valley, California. Fran had an accident about 3 days prior to the incident. She had, now I know the facts, she had taken some barbiturates and had a reaction to them. She was slurring her words, falling down, but the accident was in the outdoor shower. Fran showered outdoors all the time. Normally she showered in the front yard in the hose, but I cleared out the back area where there was a real shower, and she would shower out there. And on this morning I heard her out there screaming and yelling, "Help, somebody help." And I called the ambulance, I called the police, I called her son. And about 3 days after this incident, while Fran was in the hospital, the police knocked at the door. About 10 minutes before they came in, I had heard a noise in the upstairs of the house. So I called 911 because I thought someone was in the home. And my friend Dave was with me. I had asked him to stay with me for a few days because I was afraid of what Alex Epstein might do. Now, Alex was selling marijuana illegally from the property, and I had reported it to the DEA and to the Sheriff's Department, and they didn't do anything about it. The DEA said it wasn't popular to go after people in the county. This is about the time the California marijuana law was trying to be passed, and it didn't pass, thank goodness. But the police came in to the house, and they told me I had to leave in 15 minutes, that I was trespassing. And I was in the process of cooking dinner. I had dinner on the stove. We were just going to sit down to eat. And the officer Mackey and Officer Selleck said, "You've got 15 minutes to be out of here." So I immediately made a phone call to my husband, Gary Dubois. And Officer Mackey said, "Get off the phone or we're going to arrest you." And I was terrified. I was terrified. I didn't know what was going on. So I figured the best thing to do is get my things. I had been in the process of moving out because of all the activities that were taking place at the Epstein home, the illegal drugs, the fighting between her and her son. So I had been moving some of my things, but I got some more out this time. My friend Dave helped me. It was very difficult. I can't climb stairs because of my disability. And I was telling the officer I needed more time, I needed some help. And Mackey just stood by laughing, taunting me. When he got to my car, I have a blue Jeep, he said, "Oh, we just ran your VIN number and your car is stolen." And he was calling it a stolen vehicle and said, "We're going to have to arrest you for a stolen vehicle." I said, "I just bought the car a few weeks ago. It hasn't, the registration hasn't been completed." So they took time from my 15 minutes to get out. And Dave and I were just throwing stuff in the car, just hauling my things, just haphazardly. And I didn't even have room in the car for the dog. So Dave walked the dog about a quarter mile down the road, out of the driveway. But just before we pulled out of the driveway, Officer Mackey stood there with my driver's license in his hand and said, "Excuse me, did you forget something?" And I said, "What? I didn't, what did I forget?" I was so terrified, I was crying, I was upset. He goes, "You forgot your license." He goes, "Come and get it." And I said, "No, you give it to me. How dare he treat me with disrespect?" And I said to both officers as I was leaving, and there was a third officer that came out, I don't know who that was. I said, "There are marijuana plants behind Alex's home. I've reported a crime and you're ignoring it." And Officer Mackey said, "Oh, we know about that. We don't care about it. It's no big deal." I don't know. I just feel that these officers broke the law. They violated my Fourth Amendment rights. I was living in the residence. I don't know really what happened, why this took place that day. I'm still kind of confused. Apparently, Fran went to the hospital, and when they tested her blood, they found drugs. I'm sure they found marijuana because she had been smoking it with her friends when I came home one night. And they found barbiturates in her system. I did speak to her doctor. He told me that. But prior to this, her taking these drugs, I had called Adult Protective Services to report that something was wrong with my friend. Would somebody please help me? I called her doctor, Clopton. I called her father, Arnie Wallace is his name. And I also called her brother, the veterinarian in New York, I can't think of his name, and told him something's wrong with that's my phone ringing, and I'm gonna hang up. Oh my, anyway, so, that's it.